Groupon. Groupon may seem like, hey, is Colin Barr coming on to do this segment on Groupon?
So
Groupon may seem like just a teenager going through a growth spurt, but look, when you're a public company, you have shareholders to answer to. You also have the SEC to answer to, and the SEC is taking an interest in Groupon's accounting issues. Colin Barr, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Let's talk. What is the SEC doing?
You're doing better than Groupon, I would hope. Well, the SEC is taking a look at what's
I haven't
going on.
been a teenager in a long time.
Yeah, what's going on with their disclosure and their accounting. They've had some accounting issues over time at Groupon. Groupon has not been with us for very long, but it's been eventful, let's say.
Yeah, that's one way to say it.
And so what happened last week was that just a month after they came out with their fourth quarter numbers, they said, oh, guess what, those were wrong. It turns out that they didn't have money set aside to cover coupons that people didn't, that people said that they would use and didn't, and so, or things didn't go well, and so this is just the latest thing here that has people scratching their heads about: is this company? Do they have a handle on what's going on?
And now the SEC is probing them, right? Obviously, this is a preliminary thing.
Right. It's an early stage. We don't have a full-blown investigation. No allegations are being made. But I mean, this company, there's been a lot of noise out of them, and they've changed their methods a few times under pressure, and they've done some things that have not always sat well with regulators. The stock has lost half its value from its peak. So there's a lot of question in the market about these guys.
It seems to me there's two elements to this, and one is the accounting for provisions and so forth, and whether they're up to scratch with that. But the very fact that those provisions speak to the viability of the business model are the other part of the question. I mean, is that really what's going on here? We're actually sort of seeing Groupon's business model being put to the test here.
Well, right, and I think that a lot of people have this question about can you really make money doing this, right? I mean, why can't anybody else just come in and do it? And that's sort of one of the headwinds that they face. I mean, there's the temptation to say, oh, it's these tech companies and they do these interesting things, but it's not equally true of all of them. And when you see that these guys, they came public, but they posted a loss in the latest quarter, and then the loss just got a lot bigger. I mean, that's a bad, that's a bad sign for you if you're an investor. You're saying to yourself, these guys don't have a handle on what is obviously not an ideal situation anyway, right? I mean, they had a loss and it got bigger, so that's not really good news.
I mean, the business model obviously an issue, and the other issue is it was raised in the story. Shandi Rice and Gene Eaglesham wrote the story. Good story. They actually quoted this interesting. I want to quote it. This blog, the Grumpy Old Accountants blog, and the literal quote was, they said, the revision threw open the question of, quote, whether there is any real corporate governance at Groupon whatsoever. That's the real issue. I mean, that's a real issue.
Yeah.
That's what the SEC is going to look at. Did this company go public too early? Were they ready for the big time?
Right. Well, that's certainly an open question. I mean, you look at what's happened over the last year, where even before they went public, they had some brushes with the SEC, where the question was, are you accounting correctly for revenue? Right. That's a pretty basic question. Yeah. And so this again is a pretty basic question. Setting aside money for things that everyone would like for things to go just right, but sometimes they don't. You have to set money aside for that in business, and they didn't do that correctly. So, I think that this is this is why you see the stock down so sharply on this. I mean, it's really been quite a ride for them.
Yeah. I mean, listen, investors are voting with their keyboards. You wonder how much longer the rest of the investors are going. You like that? Get it? Because we trade
well done.
Mouse. You get that one? Yeah.
Mice.
No, the mouse. I'll use the mouse in a second. All right, we have to leave it there. Colin Barr, thank you very much.
Thank you.